Yo, I'm going live for Charles McNair. But I need gloves for walking over to this courthouse in what I'll call a silent protest. Just give me 1 second. It's very cold out today. Ooh. I'm not sure that we have. I'm not sure that I have a pair of gloves that I can get access to. I'm gonna do a quick little spin over to the clubhouse and just do a bit of storytelling. Hi, Tara. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna be here for about 30 minutes just to let you know. I'm looking for a pair of gloves. I'm walking over to the courthouse, historic courthouse, to just tell the story of this guy named Charles. I have been talking, thank you for the share. I've been talking about this guy since I heard this story in a local parking lot. And the story just keeps getting even more interesting. And the people involved in it are even more interesting. I don't know what's more interesting. The guy that's in jail himself, who's been in jail for 467 days today. Oh, we found the gloves. We found multiple pairs of gloves, in fact. Good. We're gonna need it for this journey. This man has been in jail for 16,467 days. Now, my Wi-Fi is gonna go out in a second, and we're gonna change towers, but stay right where you are. If you don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Flo. I'm an online coach and mentor and teaching artist, and I remind the world every day online that they're loved and lovable. That includes people like Charles McNair and people like me. Now, I was told about this story. The local Democratic Party. I told you that would happen. So, Kamala was running. I was curious, since I lived so close to Kamala people, you know, the Kamala people. Since I lived so close to Kamala people, I thought that I would meet them. And this included meeting, you know, the local political establishment. Now, some of you know, thank you, Green, some of you know that that was a scandal in itself because it was very hard to get the local liberal political establishment to support a black woman keeping her phone on. This is documented. Love to you, Miss Barbara. It was very hard to get them to take serious. They wanted Kamala to win, so they said. They wanted Kamala to win, but this black woman was in their midst, like phone banking and writing postcards. I wrote postcards as well, and they were not concerned in the least that her phone was off. And I raised concern because I'm trying to figure out how they want a black woman to win the country, but they didn't truly give a fuck about the black woman at the Democratic Party. It was so strange to me. I'm painting a picture here. I am painting a picture. So, once again, shout out.
I'm getting ready to call y'all.
Can't make this shit up. So yeah, I met Miss Barbara at the local political establishment. And she said, I'm here to help Kamala win. Sad story in the end, right? I'm here to help Kamala win, but my phone doesn't work. And there are people everywhere in this, in this establishment. Anyway, I ended up having to, I can't even get to that story today, but I'll tell it. But when I got in touch finally with the peoples whose names were all over this lawn, their names were all over that lawn. Kamala's name, a bunch of people's names. When I finally got a hold of one of them, they told me about Charles McNair. And I started looking into this story, and it scared me initially because it's got all the heat of a racially divided America. It's got all the heat. And y'all can come back later and watch this later. I don't give a fuck. I want Charles out. I don't know what they got going on, but I'm taking this walk today and every day for Charles McNair. No one had told me about this in the community. But I researched and found that, and I heard the story again today from someone in local government, that this 16-year-old young black boy was invited into the back door of a 57-year-old woman's home. He was awakened by black and white police officers that sought to harm him and eventually imprison him for over 45 years, including today. Now, some of y'all know that the reason why this became personal, and maybe even too personal for some of the organizers here in town, it became personal because one of the first things I was told through a confluence of events, which we can get into at some other time, but I was definitely told what my first week in Lexington, North Carolina, that nobody gave a fuck about a black man. And now I hear a story and read a story that exemplifies it in crazy proportions. Like crazy magnitude. I tagged my operations partner and the one who assists me, Tara Praolo Studio, in this video. I also tagged Justice for Charles McNair. It is crazy. It's purely crazy. And I don't want people's, I've never required that anybody kiss my ass, so I don't kiss nobody's ass. This morning I had a very interesting conversation because one of the local leaders here feels that one of the council members is an angry black man. I didn't know he was a council member. So I called him up. And said, so they say you're an angry black man. Tell me what you're angry about. He was like, here's a prank call. Who are you calling? Who's on my line? I said, Dr. Flo calling. Dr. Flo calling. That's what people call me, Dr. Flo. Or Flo, if you're nasty. I said, Flo calling. People in town tell me that you're an angry black man. What are you angry about? And he got mad. He got mad, y'all. He got mad. He was like, you can't be calling asking somebody that question. I'm not inclined to help you if you call talking to me like that, da-da-da-da. There are people in this community, in prominence and power, who are calling you openly to my face an angry black man. Hello? Are you an angry black man? And what are you angry about? Come to find out, he's one of the 3 black councilmen here. He's one of the 3 black councilmen here. The angry black man, who was initially very angry with me. He tried to tone police me like no less than 5 times and tell me how to talk to him. Sir, I'm calling for Charles McNair. Don't tell me how to talk to you. Why is this other black man still in jail? I want to know what love is, and I want you to show me. It's a problem for me that it's been 16,467 days that this man has been, she ain't open today. She know I'm coming. I sent her email. I sent her email preemptively. I warned my friends that I'm coming. There's her car. She may not let me in. I don't got to pee today. For 16,467 days, a black man like me named Charles McNair has been sitting in a North Carolina prison for a crime that he could not commit because the woman was 57 and white and he was black and 16. And 16-year-olds can never consent. So I just walked over here today. I'll be back tomorrow, counting the days that this black man has been wrongly in prison. And no one, I've been here for over 2 years, and nobody told me about it. And as I dig into it, I'm like, this is messed up. And some people really care here as I talk to them, and other people are like, I think it's so strange. I think it's beyond strange. And she probably sees me on the camera. So Caitlin, when I come back tomorrow, I'm gonna need some Black history training. They turned this local courthouse into a historical society, and there's a bunch of Ku Klux Klan hoods and black chains and shit in there. And we're gonna connect that story to the story of Charles McNair. We're gonna do it every day. I sent her a company email this morning to the city of Lexington. We're gonna arrange some African American history around the life of Charles McNair. She always sees me on the camera. On the days when she's not closed, I get to pee inside. That's why they think I'm a bum here. I call myself the Broadway bum. I'm the Broadway bum of Lexington. It's because I don't have a car, because I moved from a city that has subways, so we're saving for a car. But I'm gonna be here every day for Charles. Rain, come shine. Hello, white lady. You. I'm gonna be here every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. I need to take my walk for my health, and people globally need to know the name Charles McNair. That woman is a pedophile, if she's alive. And it's so strange, but there's a new governor in North Carolina, I've been told. There's an office of clemency. There's so much education I have to get around this. And trust me, there's a bunch of white ladies who want to educate me. Jesus Christ. Christ. Don't talk down to me. Talk eye to eye with me. As an ally, as a person who gives a fuck about every black man, including Charles, don't talk down to me. Talk eye to eye with me. We're going to do this, Tara and Wanda and everybody else that I'm allowed to talk to. But don't talk down to me. I'm very educated and well-traveled. So there's a bunch of people here. He tried to do it this morning, the councilman. He tried to talk down to me. What is this call all about? It's his cousin or family member that's in jail. But he tried to talk down to me. Don't talk down to me. I'm here for Charles. Another thing, I'm going to this church. Dr. Arnett Beverly's church. I'm going to her church because that's the only way to meet up with people who give a damn about Charles. So I told the church people, they're like, oh, we can't wait to see you on Sunday. I'm not coming to church for Jesus. I'm not coming to church for Jesus. Jesus isn't here, okay? Jesus been in here. He's always gonna be in here. I'm coming because y'all won't talk to me about Charles unless I come and sit in this bitch for an hour. Y'all not gonna talk to me about Charles and take me seriously about Charles until I come and say Our Father with you for an hour and make you feel comfortable enough with me about this black man who's been in jail for 45 years. Weird. And I'm just getting on top of this story. I'm gonna reach out to the local press today and a couple other places to see what another thing that's going on here, and I gotta get inside soon because I'm a singer after all. But another thing that's going on here is that everyone is in chaos and conflict with one another, in that they all tell two truths and a lie about each other. And it's really, it's that's probably the most painful thing to watch. These are people who I believe want to be good people and want to do good in the world and want to love and things like that. But they are petty. Like they don't really like each other, and they will often tell you very horribly disparaging things about the other people. Like horribly disparaging things. And as the listener and the guy who's been here for like 2 years, it's kind of like well, frankly, it does nothing for Charles, and it does nothing for my black ass, firstly. And then it's kind of like why play it this way? Going back to the politically established place that I went to, the party place that I went to, I asked one of the leaders there when Kamala was trying to be elected, I said, what's going to happen to all of these signs and all of the Dems? You know, what's going to happen to all these Democrats after this is over? And she said, without skipping a beat, we're going to go back to fighting one another. We're going to go back to fighting one another. And all the calls I've had over the weekend and into today tells me that that's true. And when they're not fighting each other, they're telling each other to not call me because they've got it handled. And trust me, bitch, they don't have it handled. Do not call anybody and tell, don't call anybody on my behalf, certainly, and tell them not to reach back. that's going to be very weird, because I'm meeting these people like you in the streets, and I'm going like for example, the pastor of this church that I go to for Charles, Dr. Arnett Beverly, she does not text me back. So on Sunday when I see her in church, I'm going to ask her personally why she didn't text me back. I'm not texting her to go to coffee. I'm not texting her to shake her down for $1,000. I'm not texting her for patty cake. She knows I'm texting her for Charles. She knows I'm texting her for Social Justice Choir. She knows I'm texting her for Lexington Justice Project. She knows what I'm about. I'm very articulate, as they love to condescend to the blacks. So I'm very articulate, so I know she knows what I want. So Sunday is going to be strange if we've gone a whole 7 days and there's no continuity of care about me or Charles. And the white lady across the street from her, Elizabeth Horton, is no different. She was happy to watch me be very hungry as a Broadway credited talent here. She did not lift many a finger for me. She's another one of those busy clergy members here. Beware of those busy clergy members here. They're very busy. They're the most booked religious people I've ever seen in my life. They're certainly busier than me. The Lord's business is busy work. Busy work. And nasty work. This is the Davidson County Historical Museum. It's closed today. I have an email saying that they're going to be open tomorrow to the public. I am public. I will be here. She sees me on the cameras. She sees me on the cameras. This town is different. This town was different. She was the lady who runs the Justice for Charles McNair. She would be right that they needed more support here, because these people don't care. Well, they barely care about themselves, and they have to be made to care about other people. And that's just life, right? Freedom for Charles. And justice for Charles. I'm coming back tomorrow and every day after that until the Lord delivers me from this hellhole. And this apparently was the site of the Confederate statue that was removed in recent past. So these people are healing red and yellow, black and white. They're healing something very specific. You know what it is. We all know what it is. And it's wild. It's wild. But he's been in jail for 16,467 days today for being a 16-year-old that was pulled into a sexual relationship with a 57-year-old. Beat within an inch of his life, I was told today by the local councilman who is a family member of his. Unfortunately, a lot of Charles' family is dying. So I want to know who wants to be Charles's cousin. I want to know who wants to be Charles's cousin. If his family and local black councilman Garrett, who are you? Who's Flo? What is a flow? What is a flow? You gonna know what a flow is. You gonna know what a flow is. You gonna know. You're going to know. What is your city email, not your Yahoo? What is your city email, not your Yahoo? So we're gonna find, Tara, some cousins for Charles. who not only just give a fuck about justice for Charles McNair, but give a fuck about everybody. Because there's a part of this story that is there's a part of this story that is there's a part of this story that has a black exceptionalism angle, in that we care about Charles, but we're not sure how we feel about you. Which is wild to me. She's closed today. They're closed today. She's closed today. She knows I'll come back. She's closed today. But yeah, this town needs incredible healing. And part of it is the Charles McNair story and what it represents. Oh! It's what it represents. But Charles has been imprisoned for 16,000. I'm back at St. Stephen. She said that they have a program where the homeless. Are they open today? Thank you. Thank you. Open Hands will be closed Thursday night. So, Open Hands will be closed Thursday, January 9th. So what are the people going to do on January 9th? Hello. Hi. How are you? Is the pastor here today? Is the pastor here today? No. When is she stop in?
Usually Sunday morning early.
Sunday morning early. And then you're Open Hands.
Yeah.
I see. So Holder Organization?
Yeah, we just got it from them.
Oh wow, you have a pamphlet or something? Perfect. This is the place that's open and warm throughout the week. What's happening on January the 9th?
There's a funeral.
There's a funeral.
There's a funeral
And so then where will the people go for the warmth on the 9th?
A library maybe.
A library maybe. Okay.
This is Open Hands.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
It's very warm. That's good. That's good. And they rent from the church. Got it. Got it. The cookie continues to get better. I'm gonna send them an email too and ask them what do they know about Charles McNair or any of the other things happening here. And just for the record, and I'm always gonna be transparent. Y'all know me, I'm a real bitch in real life, doing real adulting out here for the people. This morning, that politician, when he was trying to overtalk me because I wanted to see if he was an angry black man or not, he was like, what do you want? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? Well, I was like, I want to send that email to you of what I'm trying to do here in Lexington, North Carolina. I want a social justice choir that includes all people singing inspirational music and dancing and drum circles and just a party and a festival every weekend around love and joy and Charles thing will not let me go. Charles McNair and his it will not let me go. But I'm very clear about what I want, and now what I want and have always wanted in this community for 2 years includes justice for Charles McNair. But they were not concerned with justice and freedom for me, and I'm free. So we're going to continue to raise voice for him every day. And we're going to continue to also stop by these churches and see where the pastors are. Where are the people of God? And why are they not standing up for Charles and his victimization at the hands of a 57-year-old white lady? He was 16. She's nasty. A pedophile. And he paid the price because he didn't have education as a black man in the South. Come on. Come on. So we're going to do what we can within Love and Action Network to raise voice. I'm going to continue to challenge and check these gatekeeping, well-meaning white people. Because they think that they're talking to me in a certain way, but they're actually talking to me in a different way. So I talk to them back, and then they're like, oh, wait. We're all in this together. Yes, this is what it's like to work with a black radical. This is what it's like to be pro-black for real. I'm not just pro-black for Charles, I'm pro-black. Because I know that when black people get better, we're all going to get better. So, as it relates to Charles McNair, I've been told police by both black people and white people in this town about how I should talk about Charles. If my black ass was in jail, I would want somebody to be getting rowdy for me. If I had been in jail for 45 years, that's longer than fucking Martin Luther King. He's been in jail longer than fucking, Tara, Google how long, the South African guy, Nelson Mandela. How long was Nelson Mandela in jail? I think Charles has been in jail longer than Nelson Mandela. And y'all want to tell me, well, there's a way that we talk to them that makes them understand. Okay. Okay. I told them I was hungry here, and they said, God bless you. And I saw Dana Hamilton in the crowd. I saw Dana Hamilton in the crowd. Dana Hamilton with her weight loss pills in that church, or that thing she calls a church. I saw that platinum blonde in the crowd when they did their last get together for Charles. She was out there. Dana was out there. Freedom for Charles, freedom for Charles, freedom for Charles. She don't give a fuck about me. She gave me the God bless your heart. See, they pick and choose. White people and those who resemble them or align with their ideology, they get to pick and choose who and what they want to care about and when. Black people never got that freedom to pick and choose who and what we want to talk about and who and what we want to care for and when. That's a privilege to cherry pick your discussion. I have it too. I do it to y'all every day. Oh, y'all want to talk about the Habababa. I want to talk about Charles McNair. Oh, y'all want to see me a little funny meme of the way your little grocery store sign looks. I want to talk about Charles McNair. Right? So I'm a cherry pick too, because that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Freedom for Palestine. Ceasefire now. Right? That's what we're doing. We're cherry picking. It's amazing to watch adults do it. Another thing that happened today was, and I did a reel about this, the litany of excuses y'all give about social justice work and activism. Nobody cares. Either you're showing up and you're in this live right now, or we're gonna do something later, or not. Either you're gonna tell somebody about Charles McNair today, and raise that voice. Make your friends in the football game go and read his story. Send them the resolution. Don't make them work for the link. We'll get there. They're just gonna have to, like, I'm gonna have to adjust to the fact that they move at a very, very slow pace. And they're gonna have to adjust to the fact that I'm impatient because that man's been in jail for 60,000 days, 16,467 days, and it's kind of like they're like, I promise you, when they talk about it, they're like, he should have been out a long time ago. That's, I'm not laughing. It's just what it is. And I'm like, yo, is this like a pin up in, like, is this what the lynching tree looks like? Like, behold this black man who got caught up with a white woman in a very dangerous way, and then, like, your whole life can end up in jail for 45 years if you fuck around with these white people. Like, it just feels very, like, emblematic. Like, there's something else that I don't know about this story. I know nothing about the white lady. Even today in the stories, there was like a glossing over of the fact that a young 16-year-old could get beat the fuck up in her bed. Like, when the story was told, they were like, they told it just very plainly, and that could be just a repetition thing. But then they were like, yeah, and then he got beat up in bed. And I'm just like, but he was 16, and she didn't get hauled off? My God, on today. So, anyway, y'all, I want you to remain always vigilant of the bullshit. Always. Keep in mind that there are people who will talk a good game and will say all of the right things. But only their actions are going to determine if they really are who they say they are in the end. Right? So on behalf of all of us in Love in Action Network, I cannot speak for justice for Charles McNair, because I'm told that they've got lawyers somewhere that are, they've got a lot. But so I'm not going to say on behalf of them, but on behalf of Love in Action Network and me giving a damn about a black man, including myself, just keep saying his name. He is not like a black man that recently received the death penalty and no one stayed his execution. He actually is sitting there, and that's awful. But that gives us the opportunity to gather around him and to gather resources. Yeah. I want answers. I want more answers. I want more answers. I don't know about his legal representation. I don't know who they are. I don't know anything about them. What I do know is that he's there. And they say that there is, I don't know what the delicate approach is to a black man wrongly being imprisoned for over 16,000 days. I don't know what the rightful action is, and I don't think there is a right action. I think that it's about us continuing to demand that people speak his name, and that the people who say they care are continually caring in a way that doesn't frustrate what's happening, but that gets him out. And I know that these people who are working on this project have got to be, like, 1,000 times more angry and frustrated and impatient as I am. I just got here. But the thing that they didn't expect was for me to go like multifaceted with my approach, in that there's probably a 16-year-old black man in this community who's not being heard and or being abused by some adult. He equally deserves freedom so he doesn't become a justice for Charles McNair. We need to continue to take my freedom seriously, and I do, so that there's no justice for Flo. Right? It's all connected to me. But they've got just enough good-spirited people and shady characters in the mix to make this a very interesting story. It's going to write well in my reports, because there are, like, I text the pastor yesterday who hasn't texted me back. I'm gonna see her on Sunday, I guess. I texted her and I said, some of your friends are not friendly to me. You saw me on camera go to try to find her today. She's not there today. So yeah. But I told her, I said, some of your friends, the people that you call friends, the people that you say are supposed to be so warm, they are not that way to me. And so either you're going to build a bridge, or like, what are we even doing here? Yeah, but there's a lack. Something's going on. But I just went live to tell you that he's been in jail for 16,467 days. And the community, in their own special way, seems to be rallying around amplifying that message. And they say they're committed to it. And I've had some interesting conversations and standoffs today already. But that's what coalition building is. You cannot liberate one black person without liberating them all. Mm-hmm. That's why I took that walk to the courthouse. I'll be going back tomorrow. And eventually we'll get a social justice choir together and start making like daily, if not weekly, waves around this. They're not going to even accept. Well, I misspeak. The people that I've encountered so far have not yet accepted that there can be rejoicing alongside the trauma. They've not yet caught wind of that. This town is very depressed and oppressed and suppressed and repressed and regressed. So they've not yet, they don't like my idea that a community choir and community events that are exciting for everyone creates a love bubble that then just allows for contribution into what's going on with Charles. But everybody has told on everybody else, so I know what's really going on. I know it's really going on. And I will continue to take my meetings and try to build inclusive programming for everybody in Lexington, and also let everybody that I encounter know about this guy named Charles McNair. That's what they say they wanted. That's what they say they wanted. And this is our year to get it. Stay in your joy. Stay in your power. Stay loved and lovable. And I will see you on the next live, a little later today or tomorrow, depending on how things go. Take care.